Yo, 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 what's up, everybody? Thank you for tuning in to yet again another fantastic indie creator interview. It's your Cape Crusader Cody, and we are keeping it geekly with our returning guest and good friend, Anthony Stokes. We're here to break down intrusive thoughts and everything in between. And Stokes, you are off to a killer start. Congratulations. Man, it's great to have you back.
Thank you so much. It's always great to be on.
Man, so how are you feeling right now? We are at $1,590 of a $4,000 goal. So yeah, you just went up to 1,600 right when I was looking at it. So 73 backers. Everyone that is watching, right here is the link. Be sure to check this out if you're able to back. We would love to see that happen. But if not,
you can
put that out there. Yeah, put it back. For sure. But if funds are tight, Facebook and Twitter at least.
What's it going to set you back? You want a pack of cigarettes or a comic book? Come on.
Hey, all right. He is the salesman. He is the salesman. So Stokes, what has been up since you've last been on? Last time we had you on was for Decay issue 3. So how did the Kickstarter for that go? How was fulfillment for you, and how's everything been since you last been on?
Everything has been good. I've been doing the YouTube thing. I've been active. I feel like I've just been just grinding, and just hitting the kind of the goals I want to hit, and I'm thinking it's going to be similar.
No, that is what's up. So how's that been for you too, venturing in that new, I know backstage we were talking about it, and you've said you've done YouTube back before, but kind of doing it right now and hitting it off pretty strong. How's that feel to kind of be hitting that stride?
15K. It feels bizarre, man. It feels, because I wanted to do YouTube. I grew up, I feel like, in the perfect age for YouTube. Maybe a little bit early, because I don't know if they had the partner program back when I was doing it in middle school, but I've always wanted to be a YouTuber, man. It was always something that I really aspired to. And for me, it's also, I've kind of worked harder because I'm like, I don't know if I can make enough money off of comics to make a living, right? I don't know. But with YouTube content creation, it seems more practical, it seems more doable. So it's like an extra reason to kind of go that extra step and to have a 16K video, on your first video essay on a new channel is it's like, I got that itch now,
Yeah.
All I want to do is edit videos right now.
It's hard to fight that itch, but that's a good itch to have, right? That gives you a nice kind of burr to kind of get you going. Real quick, we have Dr. Hino 419 stopping in to say hi. Let's get some support, and absolutely everyone watching, right there is the link. Be sure to check that out. Please. So how was Decay issue 3? I mean, how was fulfillment on that? How did everything go? And have you been hitting up any cons since you've last been on?
It's been so well. You know what? And if you see me looking off screen, I'm looking at the Kickstarter. I feel like everything feels like it's been so close and so far away. I did Baltimore Comic Con, I'm pretty sure, after we did our interview, and that was really good. The Issue 3 fulfillment was pretty simple. And the really cool thing was that I got resealable bag and boards, which I don't like having. I don't like a resealable bag and board because I feel like the adhesive wears off. But for fulfillment, it's amazing because you just throw the bag in, throw it in there and then seal it. No tape. It actually saves. It just cutting out that extra step. It just feels good to take off the tape and I don't know. It's
it streamlines it almost. It sounds like.
Yeah, so that's a new thing that I'm doing, and that's been going good. And then, also something I did that was new. Oh, here, let me see. I'm at my desk, so I made these at the suggestion of Kevin Cuff. What I did was he told me you send out a little postcard with your campaigns, and then you put the QR code on the back, and that's a good way to get followers.
Yeah.
So essentially, this is the shortest I've ever done in between two campaigns. I'm pretty sure it was end of November, 2 months. It was 2 months. And I really didn't push it until I finished fulfillment. So it's really been a month and a half to do promo for this. So this was a great idea. Thank you, Kevin.
We had Ryan from Double say double op. It's the Dart like anime-ish type comic, and he has sent me out a card. It was a thank you card, personalized it, like wrote my name and everything, and then it had QR code on the back. And I'll tell you what, when I opened it up, I usually, you know, because when you're opening a mail, like you see the QR code, that's like the last thing, you know, you put it on the desk and then you end up forgetting about it. But like, it was like that thank you note. I was like, dude, I'm gonna check this out. This is cool. He even had like 2 QR codes. So there's a special like thank you personalized video where he like just had a recording. And he was like, hey guys, thank you for, you know, backing and supporting, which I thought was really cool. Yeah. And it's like that extra touch really gives you that bridge to the people backing your books, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Well, that I didn't do all that. I just get a postcard. I'm not gonna. This is extremely self-serving. I just wanted more backers, but no, I mean, to me, I found that the little touches, like the attention to detail, is like key. Like that's the thing that really can push you over the edge and really can increase your margins or increase your success. It's like these little crafty things that you think would make a big difference, but if you do all of them, you'll probably see a significant bump. Like I said, I don't even want to know what this campaign would look like if I didn't do this. Like if I didn't do that, I don't even know. I'm scared to think of it. So yeah, do the little things. Little things matter.
I mean, that's not all of it. I mean, you are really prolific on like Twitter in terms of advertising. You know, I see that you utilize spaces a lot, and often like in the little jumbotron, first thing you'll have is your campaign. And I think that right there is a good, you know, way to effectively use the platform that a lot of creators aren't doing.
Yeah, so I mean, I get it though. I understand. Because people, for me, it's like you got to make marketing fun. Like it's a thing that a lot of people don't like to do, but if you make it fun, if you make it enjoyable, you'll do it with more efficiency. And to me, it's like I always have to feel like I'm accomplishing something. I always have to feel like I'm working towards a goal because I have so many goals. Like right now, I want a 10K campaign and or a silver play button. And sitting in a Twitter space can help. Like sitting in a Twitter space feels like I'm doing something that's working towards this or that. But I'm also just playing 2K a lot of time, you know, like, so it's a good way to like do a little bit of everything I need, but also relax, you know, talk to the guys, get close, network as well. So it's multifunctional. And I think it's criminally underrated, to be honest. I don't understand why you wouldn't use them. I mean, I understand it does take a specific personality and skill set to manage one of those things, but if you can do that, then I don't know why you wouldn't. I'm seeing more and more people, even, you know, periodically throughout the day when they're running a Kickstarter, they'll just sit in there and just hang out, and, you know, they'll just wait for people. And I think that is something nice too. It gives you that extra connection to, you know, your consumer base, you know, the people who watch, you know, what you do and back what you do. Yeah, and it's also good community building. Like something I'm watching right now. I'm watching a lot of YouTube videos about growing your channel, and essentially what they say is build a community. Don't focus on the subs or the you know, all these metrics. Like just build a community. And then when you see, I mean, and I'm gonna give myself credit. Here. Like I don't like George, like all our core friends from the spaces, like you, George, Richard, Trevor, Christopher, Chris. They didn't know though. They didn't know each other before we did Twitter Spaces. I'm pretty sure. Pat, and you were there, and now it's like almost like we've known each other for years, but it's only been like 9 months. But we talk.
It's crazy to think about. It's crazy to think about. I talk to some of you guys more than I talk to people I've known years of my life.
Exactly. So I think we did a phenomenal job community building, you know, like truthfully, that's one of the proudest things that I can think of. And then like, you know, it's also something that you could take off another platform. We have a Discord, we have a YouTube channel. It's like all these, it helps us with other stuff. So yeah, Twitter Spaces was predominantly great for me for community building.
And I got to agree with you too. Like when I started my Substack, I did that, I want to say about a week ago. And you know, I said make 2 posts. I average about 70 to 150 views, and that's about a week of me just promoting on Twitter. And it's mostly people from Twitter who, you know, community that we've, you know, grew and fostered around us, coming to support. So I think you nailed it right on the head. So let's get back to what we're here to talk about. Intrusive Thoughts, brand new series, breaking away from decay. Give us a little bit about the creative team behind it and kind of the concept.
Absolutely. So it's about an orphan. He's got sleep terrors. He's got night terrors. He's got sleep paralysis. He's got depression, anxiety. He's not in a great place. And then so he starts seeing the sleep paralysis demon. And then his sleep paralysis demon, this kid is bullying him, and his sleep paralysis demon attacks him and like maims him essentially.
Mm-hmm.
And then the creative team it's a different team. It's a DNS who I've worked with. If you follow the Decay, you know the 2 covers he's done. It's like almost paint quality, like it's interesting. It's an interesting style that he has. And then Mirror Mortal, who works with him, who works with Source Point Press, I'm pretty sure. And so what's also good about that is that I have my Decay team working independently of the Intrusive Thoughts team, so I can do them 2 at the same time.
So is that a hard balance for you to be running 2 series at the same time, or is this kind of something that you've been gearing towards?
Well, the 2 series I can do, I messed up and did 3rd series, and that's the one that's causing me the trouble. But 2, the reality is that if you want to get published, which I have aspirations of, you need to be able to run concurrent series. Because if you want to be a professional writer, you have to be open for jobs. You have to sit there, and it's a job. You have to sit there and be able to write X amount of pages on a drop on a dime. And Chris Moses is really good at that. Chris will write a script. Chris will write like a script a week. He'll have X amount of pitches. It's crazy. And it's like, that's what something you have to do. You could do the long epic series if you wanted to. I feel like that'd be better, more geared towards like crowdfunding though, in my opinion.
Mm-hmm. It seems like having more options to choose from would give you more options to be picked up, right?
Essentially, yeah. So it's more cracks at bat, because I remember this dude was talking to me. He wasn't talking to me, but he was like, when you go into an office, right? You go to pitch something. If you go to pitch one thing, like let's say I want to make a comic book about like horses, like it's an epic fantasy battle with horses. One of the execs doesn't like horses, you're fucked. Mm-hmm. But like, so you have to be able to pivot. You have to be able to think on the fly. You have to be able to do all these things to give yourself the best chance,
And I'm curious, like, what's up with these 2 series? Like, just the protagonist is like just like either dead or dealing with some sort of monster, some sort of inner demon. Like,
wish they were dead. Yeah.
Are you ever gonna have a series where your protagonist is happy, man?
Probably not. Probably not until I get happy. I don't. Probably not.
So a whole new concept though. With Decay, we're pretty much bringing back the brother from the death. With this, mm-hmm. we're fighting a sleep paralysis demon. Like, was that? Did you have to put yourself in a completely different mindset? What was like some of the things you did to help yourself creatively get in the mindset to do this?
Man, you know what? And I wish I took notes. So people ask me these process questions, and I can do it for Decay. What happened with Intrusive Thoughts is I wasn't getting the publisher response that I wanted. So I was like, all right, cool. I'm gonna make a comic book that's undeniable. Making Decay was so much about the process and so much about getting published. Like, I was so focused. I was so like farsighted that I don't remember. Like, I truthfully mm-hmm. don't remember the little things that I was thinking of. I was like, I'm trying to get published. That's all I was focused on.
Fueled by spite, you're like, man, I'm just gonna get it done.
You know me so well. So I don't have the little nuance, the little ticks, and all that stuff. So I'm not entirely sure.
Well, let's talk about some of these creative choices, though. I have some of the interiors flashing on the page. And some of those where you have the protagonist like drawing out the demon and such was such a really cool experience. What did that look like when you were talking to your artist to kind of, because the way your artist did it was just phenomenal, like with the hands and the drawings to kind of give us a little bit more of the insight. That was such an awesome idea.
That was my idea. Yeah, that was me. So essentially with me, and I'm looking at my Kickstarter right now. Essentially with me, I want exposition is the worst part, and I think that's something that comics in particular have issue with is exposition. Don't just give me the information. I want the information to be as interesting as possible. So the character is also an artist, so it seemed like a good way. Okay, so he's in a therapy meeting. He can draw the monster. We can get the exposition out. It makes sense in the context of the scene because he's talking to a therapist. It also communicates that maybe he's not the best at communication, but the drawing it helps him kind of work it out. So like for me, I want multi-functional scenes or moments, and that little scene causes so much. And for DNS to be able to like make his style more rough, the aesthetic of it too, and it was also something that I noticed in the can you pull those pages?
So are you looking at the interior from the Kickstarter, or was there a different page?
Yeah, go ahead. Like, so there you can see that he's looking, like you can see the light from a desk lamp on the page, like, and it's just insane. If you keep scrolling through, look at the smoke. Go back up. Look at the smoke from the car. Go back to the previous. Look at that. Like, it's just it's so good. It's like so many little details. And then scroll down.
Like, man, I really like this part right here too.
Yeah. So you know something about this page? This foster parents, they don't have their faces because he can't commit to it from memory. He doesn't know what they look like because they're always gone. Awesome.
I love that little attention to detail, man.
So that was me.
So let's go ahead and scroll up to the top. Everyone that is watching, right here is Intrusive Thoughts, issue 1, a 28-page horror mystery. Be sure to check it out. And back to date. Tomorrow is New Comic Book Day. Be sure to treat yourself to an awesome horror mystery. And let's get 75 backers. Let's make it to 80. I think we could do it, guys. An atmospheric horror comic which deals with the themes of loneliness and anxiety and depression. Currently at $1,610 of a $4,000 goal. 74 backers and 29 days left to go, man. Off to a fantastic start.
Oh yeah, man.
That is awesome, man. So once again, right here are some of these interiors, but a little bit larger, so you guys can really check out some of these details. So what are we seeing happening in this first page right now?
So you can go ahead and scroll up to the first, because that's the second page. No, okay, I'm stupid. All right, scroll down. Scroll down. This is the second page. So yeah, so this is the first page. You can kind of see his face in just pain, and then scroll back up. So you kind of see him at the police station, and then he's in pain. Like, he's just in agony right now. He has migraines.
And you can kind of see that right here too, the little cracking effect.
You can also see in the background the way DNS does the trees, the reflection of the trees. Like, I truthfully never seen anything like that. The way it's like fluorescent. I don't know.
Oh yeah, right here.
DNS is a genius, bro. It's like the shadow of I don't know. He's insane.
Yeah, his highlights are awesome.
Bro is talented. Bro is super talented.
And yeah, this is gorgeous too. And then the paneling right here, having in the leaves, is awesome.
That was him. That was his idea. I can't claim that one.
And that's the beauty when you're working in a creative team like that too. What was your original idea for this scene? Like, how different would it have looked?
Man, I don't, sometimes you kind of, you never want to do like what the people say the Marvel way, where you just draw some shit and you just write a script and then you have them convert it. But I was like, I just want him to be cleaning. And I said, yo, do panel this however you'd like. And this is genius visual storytelling, man. I wish I had thought of it, to be honest. This is great.
And right here we get, and what I love too is like almost like the way the color palette is like leading up to this. And then like right here is so vibrant and like sinister, like with the way the eyes are glowing. And like outside, like how it's like a violent, like purple, pinkish, like atmosphere.
It was some interesting color and some interesting decisions that I just respected it. DNS has been drawn for a long time. So a lot of stuff I'm just going to refer to him because I'm new, you know what I'm saying? I'm new. I don't have the greatest eye for visual storytelling. It's something I'm working on. And that's also why I wanted to work with him. And yeah, that's a great page right there, man. Just because this can be, I'm curious if this is harder to draw than like the one with a lot of details.
Yeah, like, because like to simplify, like almost like to simplify it into a different art style, just seems like it would be next level.
And then to have the traditional art style on top of it is it's insane. Like he's an evil genius. Like, this is crazy.
So is the sleep paralysis demon like a symbolism for anything? It seems like a pretty dark metaphor.
I gotta read to find out. You know what I'm saying? Yeah,
And guys,
sure.
that is that's your notification right there to get to back in. And right here we have the altercation. So give us a little bit about this bully. It looks like he has it coming.
He's just like your typical school bully, right? Like he's just an ass, and you need it for the conflict. And you know, to me, if you're gonna have something kind of trite, just get it through as fast as possible. And I feel like we did this here, and then it has ramifications throughout the story later.
And again, I really love, like, it's almost like two different art styles, almost like right here with this page compared to this page, like where he's like trying to defend himself from it. Like I just love, like, because I don't know how to, it almost like, it feels like there's like a retro feel to it, or like a fog almost like over this image compared to this one.
Yeah, I wish I could describe what was going on. I gotta get DNS to do one of these days.
So this is 28 full color pages, but only issue 1 of a 6-issue horror series. So I mean, an interesting amount of issues there too. This sounds like it's gonna be a little bit longer than Decay.
You know, I'm thinking about making it 5 issues, kind of doing the Charlie Stickney thing, kind of just because for me, like, it's really labor. I just want to get to the trade as soon as possible a lot of times. And to me, while I love doing the press tour itself, it's very time consuming, right? You have to block out a bunch of days. You have to have your afternoons open, you know, your weekends are. So to me, to make it a bigger final book. Also, the idea of a bigger final book sounds cool too. Like a 40 page sounds kind of lit, you know.
Hardcover, mahogany bound on. I get it.
Idiot. I'm paying for that.
And
you paying $40 for it. You paying $40 for issue 5.
The comic is finished as well, guys. Right here is the physical. I mean, you can see it in the corner as well. Comic is 100% complete. So that's, you know, we always love that about Stokes. Whenever he runs his campaigns, comics are always done.
Yeah.
So we have the cover A right here. This is another gorgeous cover. So 24x4 variant cover. And the way you have the intrusive thoughts like logo kind of just reflective, and not only that, but it curves like with the curvature of the globe.
That was Richard. No, so this is, again, I just feel like I had so many great artists involved here. Just got another back. Let's go. I feel like I had so many great artists involved here. So I have a lot of people to shout out. 24x4 is a phenomenal artist in person. Met them in Baltimore. It's like one of those things. And I love the creative space where you can, I've known them for like 2 months, and I feel like we're already friends. And they killed it. They killed this cover.
Yeah.
And then Richard's crazy ass was like, look, Stokes, I can add this. And Richard adds the logo. And because you can see the 24x4, go scroll back down, you can see there's like some negative space. You can even look on this part. It's negative space, right? And so Richard puts the reflection to make it to kind of like cover up some of the negative space. Not cover it up as in it's bad. It's good to have negative space, but it just adds that little detail. And then no, I mean, I feel like this is insane. Like, I feel like this is my favorite cover. I'm not gonna lie.
And from a marketing standpoint, that gives you 2 pieces of merchandise, right? You get the cover, and then you get the Virgin cover.
Yo, when you make your comic book, you're just farming us for information.
that's the real secret, dude. Like, interview 300, I'm gonna like take off my mask, and I'm like,
fuck these comics. I'm trying to get the
hey, don't back these comics. Now get ready to back mine.
Yeah.
And then we have another awesome variant cover too. So who's the artist for this one?
This one is Christopher Schmidt, and this is crazy. This is also crazy. I asked bro to give me a black and white cover. You can scroll down and see the original page. And he was a black and white. So I really wanted a black and white cover to go with the contrast of these other. You can look at the 24x4 and the Nico. It's a lot of blue. It's a lot of hues. It's really, really atmospheric. And I wanted something that like kind of was a perfect juxtaposition for that. So he did this. And then you can see the crosshatch. And then he colors it. And I'm like, oh my God, like this is crazy. And this is a bit of an exclusive. I'm going to offer the black and white as an add-on as well. And No, this is another great cover, and the way he did like the coloring. This is amazing. I'm just in awe of the artist that I like really worked with on this one, that I'll
Hmm.
continue to work with. And every time I look at these, I'm genuinely just like taking in more details. But you see the smile. I love how the smile is like the teeth are individual.
Yeah.
It's kind of like a Venom thing a little bit. The white has texture on it.
And the teeth are all like grimy and broken, you know?
Almost looks like bullets.
And I really like too, like how the face is almost split into two with this shadow. Like right here you see it a little bit better. But like right here it almost looks like there's two faces like looking at. It's like those old art projects like where you would draw like two faces in one. It's cool. Right here is another awesome variant cover. Just a gorgeous look at this paralysis demon.
By Nico, yeah. And honestly, I sent Nico just a shadowy figure. I think I sent them the PDF, and then they added this. So there is a Grim Reaper in page. There is like a Grim Reaper type figure in page. I don't remember page, but I'm like, they drew this. I'm like, okay, this is the design. This is going to be designed. So in the second one, you see the Grim Reaper again, and the wings are going to shoot out from its cloak, like because Nico drew them with wings, you know. So I'm gonna use the idea.
You could do a lot of like sinister stuff with wings too, like with the feathers and everything. No, that is so awesome. We have some awesome prints right here too.
Yeah.
I really like this where the protagonist is like screaming down and the globe is like exploding from the back of the head.
Yeah, it's a metaphor.
So right here are some of the rewards, guys. Check this out with us and back away. We are trying to hit, let's see where we're at right now. We are 1,620. Let's go. We just hit 75 backers. Let's get at least 5 more by the end of the interview. So right here, yeah, let's go, man. Right here are some of the rewards. Fantastic prices too. You can get the digital for $5, a bundle for 10. What's all going to be in this bundle?
In that bundle is going to be Decay issues 1 through 3 and Intrusive Thoughts issue 1.
That's awesome. That's a lot of bang for your buck right there. We got the physical, cover A at 15, and then you can get those cool variants that we've seen right up above for 20. We have the variant 4 standard at 25, variant 4 virgin at 30. So that's the snow globe without the logo. Signed at 30, Decay bundle and standard at 40. Some signed copies and a print at 40. Signed 2 copies at 50. And man, these tiers, some awesome tiers here. Down below, drawn into issue 2 for 200. Drawn in every cover for 275. So that's gonna be all those variants as well.
Yeah, all the variants will come with that. I think that's a really great. I think it's a really great value.
Yeah,
but
yeah,
pretty standard structure for rewards. You know, you get the more involved you want to get, and then I've been lucky because a lot of people have bought all the cover. I've spent a lot. I'm not gonna lie, I spent a lot of money on covers. That's kind of the draw for me. So I think I've had 2 or 3 people get every cover, and it's been great because obviously the more covers you print, the more you save. So that's a great feeling.
And then real quick, the drawn into issue 2, do you have any idea what type of character they could be looking at to be drawn in as?
We'll fit them in there somewhere. You know, a cool background character, you know.
Okay. Right here are some of the add-ons you can get. Issue 1 of Decay, Day of the Dead, or the retro. I love the retro personally. Then issue 2, we got the standard Lane Lloyd in the water. And then issue 3, the standard in the crow. So this is the most. This is the most covers you've ever done for one issue, though, right? Variant wise.
Yeah. Oh yeah. There's like 6, I think. So the crow and then the water from number 2. Those are both DNS.
Mm-hmm.
You can kind of tell this. I mean, he's really versatile. Like Intrusive Thoughts does not look like this. You can kind of tell from the color at the bottom. It's kind of like that single color he kind of uses. You can tell that the same person draw these. But when you look at Decay, it looks different to me. But man, I'm just like I said, I'm just in awe of the artist I found. Like it's crazy.
And
Lane
right
Lloyd's
here
there too.
Is a little bit of a preview for Decay. I love the Lane Lloyd cover as well. Right here's the preview for Decay. So you're getting pretty close to wrapping this up too. When is issue 4 expected to drop?
So I'm doing 4 and 5, depending how this campaign goes. I think I'm gonna give myself 2 months to promo, to relax a little bit, because I'm taking a 2.5 week break at the end of this campaign. And
much deserved though, man.
And that's also part of it why I'm doing a double. Now people would say that you're losing money, but to me, one, I'm not trying to tell this story. I want to be able to tell a story in 2 years. You know what I'm saying? So that helps me accelerate the timeline. Basically, I can get to the trade faster. I have a Decay sequel coming out and a prequel coming out. So I'm trying to get to those. And
real quick, I was gonna say, if you back this campaign and Control Z at a physical level, all physical backers of both campaigns will get a physical copy of Decay retro cover. So make sure when you do that, you comment Super Comic Bros, and you'll get a free comic just for doing that. And both Intrusive Thoughts and Control issue 1 and 2, fantastic books. Had the opportunity to read all 3 of them, and man, I just love what you and Chris are doing, like creatively as comic writers. Like, it's phenomenal.
Yeah, man, that's my dog, man. We don't always see eye to eye, but you know what I'm saying. I love that guy, man. And
he got also, those baby blues. It's hard to see eye to eye sometimes. You get lost in them.
You got them too. I'm jealous. I got brown. But yeah, no, and it's cool because essentially, like, we're just kind of like, we're gonna make a series at some point. But yeah, Decay issue 4 and 5, and also I have less promo time, so essentially I can promote 4 and 5 at the same time, as opposed to like going through the entire thing again, you know. So for me, it just sounds like better, to be honest. And like I could make more money, really, but really Decay and even Intrusive Thoughts, they're like stepping stones. Like every series you do is a stepping stone. You're trying to new things. You're trying to get better. So at least for me, that's how I approach it. So I'm trying to just get to the next thing, you know, like more at bats, like I said.
Yeah. Right now, guys, we are at 1,630. We just got another backer. Fuck yes, let's go. Right there is the link. Check it out, guys. You know the drill. Back it. If you're unable to, simply putting this on Facebook and Twitter. Word of mouth is 100% free. Tomorrow is New Comic Book Day, and we want to make sure this campaign's off to a fire start. So with that being said, Stokes, we are done checking out the Kickstarter. What do you want to say to anyone who might be on the fence, might be wish-washy about backing?
Well, you had a preview link in your Substack. You can put that in there. They can read the preview link.
Yeah. Here, I'll pull that up right now.
And I'm going to check out the figures as well, because I'm curious how, because you tweeted that yesterday, so I'm curious how the figures are doing.
So right here, I want to say it had at least 40, 50 views, reads at least. So if you guys are interested, right here is the Intrusive Thoughts issue 1 preview that I personally typed up, and then there is a link at the bottom, a 17-page preview on Global Comics that you can read and check out and see if this is going to be your cup of tea. But I think it's going to. Like, it's a fantastic read, and I love the way you're able to like blend, you know, with your story writing, the horror aspect into it.
Yeah, you know I love my horror. So when did you post that Substack? Was that
that was posted, I want to say, in the afternoon.
On yesterday?
Yeah. Or it might have been a couple days ago. Hold on. The 20th.
The 20th. All right, yeah. So I got like 144 page reads.
Oh, dude.
Off of this. So
wow.
Yeah, so it worked. Thank you.
And we were just talking earlier about how important it is about building that community, and like, had I just been some regular Joe doing a Substack, like, probably not would have seen, you know, that many pages. But that's fun. It's good for me, like, because I never really, I guess, asked people like, hey, what'd you get from that? Like, so it's cool to hear that it's actually working, man.
Yeah, it got traction there for sure. Thank you. I'm starting to use Global Comics more. Frankly, I need to be using it more in general. It's just, for me, I just don't like using links generally. Like, I try to use the links as little as possible, so it's hard. But you know what I always do is I like, yo, you want to check this out, and then people will like, they check it out, and then you send the link. Like, they'll ask, oh, where's the link? You send the link. So like, you know, it gets throttled down. You know. So
real quick, you know, outside of Intrusive Thoughts issue 1, what's next for you? I know we were talking about the campaign for Decay issue 4 and 5, but is there anything else you're working on?
I'm working on a manga that's probably gonna come out on the back end of the year. I'm working on, like I said, a Decay sequel essentially,
Mhm.
and that's gonna be super exciting. I think people are really gonna like that one. And I was working on that today, and it's just gonna be just more. It's just gonna be grittier and grimier. And I'm so excited. And it's gonna be a graphic novel as well. So yeah, man, it's gonna be my first graphic novel. We're just trying stuff, man. I'm really excited.
Darker and grittier, man. Your protagonists just do not get a chance to breathe at all.
No, it's gonna be like, you think Decay and Intrusive Thoughts is bad. It's gonna be worse. Like, it's gonna be like a different kind. It's gonna be a different kind of gritty. It's gonna be like just the feeling I want to go for is like, I say this is like picking up a wet ashtray. Like, that's just the like, man, if I could figure out a way to like to simulate like a cigarette burn or something, or like on a page or something like that, or like or like I'm thinking of like putting like, like a ring from a drink. Like, if I could simulate that, just stuff that you associate with like disarray. I'm trying to like channel that into some of these covers and stuff. I'll tell you more about it after the.
No, that is so cool though. So before we wrap up things completely, you've been on the show a handful of times. You know the drill. I always love asking for a little bit of advice. So this time around, let me pick your brain about adding atmosphere into your writing. So, I mean, we have writing and then we have writing with atmosphere. And of course, we know which ends up, being the more fun to read. What would be some of your suggestions for writers looking to add a little bit of atmosphere to their story?
I would say, I mean, the atmosphere itself essentially is just like the setting, right? So I would take a less is more approach with dialogue. I would take a less is more approach with like everything that isn't the visuals. And I think I like to do it bare minimally when I'm talking about like character and not character arcs, but character introductions, dialogue, stuff like that. And then what that forces you to do is it concentrates what you can do, right? If I give one page, if I have a page to introduce, like one total page to introduce two different characters, I had to pump a lot of character development into that moment. And so that's what I would say is try to be as subtle as possible with everything but the visuals.
No, some perfect advice. Thank you so much. Everyone watching, right here is the link one more time. Be sure to check it out. And if you're on the fence, right here is the Substack as well. That is free to read. You get a free 17-page preview to check it out and see if this is going to be up your alleyway. And I mean, if you're into horror, if you're into suspense, atmosphere, I think this book is going to be the book for you. Stokes, thank you so much for swinging by. Everyone watching, it is a lovely Tuesday night. Make it more lovelier by backing this book today. But most importantly, guys, keep it geekly.